A quick note before we get into the episode. Oversharing is a podcast for entertainment purposes only. It is not a medical podcast and does not constitute medical or psychological advice. Always seek the advice of your physician or mental health professional. Let's do some intentions. Hi, Dr. Naomi and Jordana, longtime listener and first-time writer. Thank you for all you do. I'm writing because I feel I need help with an intention to help calm my nerves. I've always had a sensitive stomach when it comes to stress, but over the last 2 years, I noticed it has gotten much worse. I work in sales, and so in between contracts, sometimes I will drive Uber, and where I live, it becomes pretty profitable with a really good average hourly rate. My problem is, I find myself getting a nervous stomach before I pick people up for long drives. I think it's completely self-induced and a symptom of anxiety. I will have the symptoms of IBS, like urgency to go to the bathroom, when I know I'm stuck in the car with a stranger for like an hour. It sort of feels like my brain is trying to trick me because I don't get this way when it's a short 10-minute ride here and there. So I've stopped driving Uber because of this ugly symptom that has happened. Nothing ever happens. I never poop my pants or throw up. I can usually talk myself down, but I get all of the anxiety attack symptoms. Hand sweat, heart races. I have to push on pressure points on my hand and sometimes take an Emetrol, I assume that's something to help with that, to relax myself. It is bizarre. This does not happen at any other point in time except for sometimes when I'm getting my lashes done. Because again, I think the anxiety of knowing I'm stuck staying in one place for so long gets to me. I know it's all in my head, but it's really hard to resign myself to that and just freaking live my life and make some money. If you could help, I would be so appreciative. I would love an intention to reiterate to myself when I feel the nervous stomach symptoms coming on. Sincerely, Nervous Nelly.
Yeah, I just want to let this person know this is pretty common. I over the course of my career have had a lot of patients that have this thing where they get nervous, then it affects their stomach, then they're afraid they're going to have to use the bathroom and not be able to have access to a bathroom. So that it's almost like a GI panic attack. When you have a panic attack, it's kind of like, oh my God, I'm afraid I'm going to pass out. Like that's kind of a lot of times what people feel when they have a panic attack. I'm afraid I'm going to pass out. I'm in the middle of the grocery store. What if I pass out in the middle of the grocery store? So therefore, like, I'm not going to go. That's how like agoraphobia, that kind of thing starts. You're like, I'm not even going to go to the grocery store because what if I get anxious at the grocery store and then I pass out in this public place? So this is like the toilet version of that, because when you're panicked, you know, you're more likely to kind of feel like you actually are going to pass out. Your heart feels like it's pounding out of your chest. And so this is more like, instead of my heart's pounding out of my chest, like my stomach's gurgling. And, so this is pretty common, and it's hard because it does start to feel like you start to avoid living your life the way that you would.
Right, what she's doing.
Have this. Yeah.
She's not taking this job, which she otherwise seems to like.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is really challenging. The first thing I would say is you're not trapped, right? Like you already lost your Uber job, kind of. Right? You already like stopped driving Uber. So the worst thing that could happen, which I don't think would happen, is that like you're on a ride and you have to be like, I am so sorry. I'm not feeling well. I have to pull over, and you pull over, which is also not going to happen because it's never happened. So there's like, I have kind of like a 3-part intention.
And even if it did, I've had Uber drivers who have done that.
Oh, you have?
And yeah, not like often, but I've had it. It's a little weird. It's fine. It's not like
I mean, you're human.
What am I going to be like? Nope. Can't stop.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not taking someone to the airport last minute.
Yes. Right. As long as they're not in like a huge rush. But even if they are, like,
they'll deal.
Shit happens, no pun intended. Right. And like, you know, you're not going to die if you have to pull over on your Uber ride. So just kind of letting yourself know, even with the eyelash thing, like if you have to be like, excuse me, can you hold on a second? I have to use the bathroom. I get it. It's embarrassing, whatever. But like, maybe if you did that a couple of times, you realize like, all right,
could do it if I need to.
I could do it if I need to. Right. And it's not the worst thing in the world if that has to happen. So you're not trapped. Like I know it, like emotionally you feel trapped because it's like a little embarrassing, but you're not literally trapped. You're like emotionally trapped in that moment. And also, I think we've all had this experience where you have a like grumble in your stomach and you're like I've been on a walk, for example, and like I have that like sensation on my stomach and I'm like 2 miles from my house and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like,
that's tough.
what am I going to do?
Right.
But like, usually it just like feels like that for a couple of seconds or a minute. And then it kind of like adjusts itself and it goes away for the most part, especially in her case where it is, we're pretty sure it is like psychological, that she's not like having a stomach virus or something. So just kind of saying like, this is just a sensation. It's not an emergency. Like the sensation doesn't mean like I've had that sensation many times and have still been able to wait like the requisite amount of time to use the bathroom. And like that will happen for her too. So, kind of saying this is just a sensation. It's not just because you have that sensation doesn't mean you need to like necessarily use the bathroom. And then lastly, this one I think could be pretty calming is like, I have been okay every single time. Like she said, she's never pooped her pants. She's never like vomited in the middle of a public place. I mean, I deal with patients that's how it kind of starts.
What is what?
Like that they've like vomited in public.
Okay.
And then once you vomit in public, there's like this fear of like vomiting in public because you have had this experience, but like, it doesn't sound like this has actually happened to her. It's just a fear of it happening. So kind of saying like, I've been okay every single time. I will be okay this time too. So there's a lot of these little, it's, kind of things that she can tell herself to just soothe. And also, and I think she's doing this already because she's touching pressure points but just kind of deep breathing, calming the body, dropping the shoulders, relaxing all the muscles in your face and telling your body like, this is okay. I am not trapped. This is just a sensation, not an emergency. And I've been okay every single time. I will be okay this time too.
Like that.
But yeah, common. Like,
yeah. Is there a way to like ease back into this with the Ubering? I guess not really, because you never know where you're gonna get. Like if she wants to like use this to restart that, is there?
I think with Uber you can pick your rides. Like you can see where someone's going and decide if you want to take them.
Oh, I thought you're not allowed to do that because it could be like your I forgot what the word is. What's the word? Like it could lead to like neighborhood
like profiling,
yeah, something like like
right.
So where you're refusing rides to certain neighborhoods or areas.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I could be wrong. I totally made that up. I have no idea. Maybe you can't do that, but I could imagine if someone's like, I want to go to like Atlantic City, that you would have an option if you want to drive, 2 hours or something, or not. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I mean, I've had Uber drivers who like accept the ride and then
see
before
where you're going.
Before I get in, they're like, "Where are you?" Like they like look at the thing and they're like, they cancel it. It's a frowned upon in the Uber riding community,
right?
Especially if someone's been waiting a while for the Uber.
Yeah. All right. So maybe you can't, but I do think kind of having out of all these intentions, the intention of like, I am not physically trapped.
Right.
Like you can stop at any point. I think that's the one I would use to like get you back into it. So, like it might be a little awkward, but
right.
So is telling your friend, like, please don't yell at my son, or like all these things that we have to do that like, make us feel like we're being true to ourselves or like doing what's in your best interest. And it might make other people a little bit uncomfortable, or someone might get angry and be like, are you serious? Like blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm serious.
Right. And again, if your other alternative is to not do this at all, like in the worst case scenario, the person gives you a bad score.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like you're not that invested in this job. It sounds like if you, if you quit because.
Totally. And I think it'll come up in other ways. Like there's always, you might get a job where you have a meeting and it's like an hour-long meeting or what, like
you're on a flight and you're in the window seat.
Right. Totally. I think that avoidance is going to strengthen this. So whether it's, getting back and driving Uber, which I think you should do if that's what you want to do and that's what works for you financially, or just pushing yourself to kind of some exposure therapy here, I would do it.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. Let's do some triggers.
Okay.
Our first one is a voicemail. Let's roll the tape.
Hi, Jordana and Dr. Naomi. Thanks for everything you do. Love listening to the podcast. I have the triggered that I wanted to call about and gauge you on. So I have two young kids, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And with the 2-year-old, we're at the stage where we're really starting to wade out of the baby toys, all the love every stuff we decided to purchase when we thought we were rich. And, you know, baby books and board books and stuff. We're kind of starting to go through those and get rid of them. My husband has a coworker who is due with their his wife is due with their first kid in just a couple of months. And we offered, hey, do you guys want books and toys? You know, as we're sort of like cleaning through these. And mind you, I've met the husband maybe twice and the wife once. And rather than just saying, no, thank you, or sure, we'll take them, they asked us to take a photo of each item and submit it to them. I don't have the time to catalog every baby item that I own. And so it just felt a little bit like rude and entitled that we're, you know, saying here are some toys. We're obviously not going to give them crap or garbage. We're just planning to give them, you know, the toys that are still intact and in good condition, the board books that are still intact and good condition. Absolutely no pressure. We've said to them a couple times, like, no pressure, but we have this stuff. If you want it, it's your first kid. We've got it. And they don't live near anybody else around here that they know that has young kids. But I found it a bit triggering that they asked us to take a photo of each item. I don't know what they're going to garner from looking at a photo of a black and white board book that has no words and just has pictures. But alas, I'm feeling a bit triggered by it, and I want to see what your take is. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
I like this one.
What do you think?
No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah. I think it's very irritating to feel like you're like working when you're trying to do someone a favor and then you're like working for them.
Yes. Yeah.
If someone offers you something for free, if someone's asking you to pay for something, you can ask to see pictures. If someone's offering you something for free, you say yes. If you don't think it's good enough condition, you can toss it or donate it or get rid of it.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I will say, I don't know how this question was phrased, and I think it matters. If she was like, can you please take a picture of each item? That is really annoying. But I think the other alternative is you have the box of toys. Like what I would do if this was me is I would either just stand over the box, take a picture of all the toys that are in the box, even if she doesn't get like a perfect view of each toy, and send it and be like, this is what we have, or even dump them out on the floor.
Sure.
And like take a aerial view picture of like the general gist of the stuff and send her one photo of it. So like that, I don't think I could see on the devil's advocate, the other side kind of being like, nobody wants a bunch of junk, and you don't know people's style of what they're going to give or not give.
Right. She doesn't know them that well. They might.
Right. They might give her like like a thing with a broken wheel, or like cars with broken doors, or like whatever. She doesn't really, I mean, it's baby stuff, so whatever. But like, I don't think it's crazy to just kind of be like, what do you have? As in like, just send me one picture of like all the items in the picture. Even if you can't see the bottom of the box, you could get an idea of like what's in there.
Or maybe, and maybe they're kind of like, oh, I don't want to take stuff that we already have. Like if you could give it to someone else, there could be the
idea of having to have like itemized pictures of each item, that's nuts. So I will, if that's what she's asking for, like, can you take a picture of, if she used the word each item, triggered.
Yes.
If she said like, do you have pictures of the stuff?
Right.
Maybe she might have meant like, just snap one quick picture of like what you have.
Right. And I guess it's an awkward thing because like it's tough when someone's like, I have this free stuff, like to be like, well,
you just want to be like, yes or no.
Well, what condition is it in? Right. Yeah. But I guess it is helpful for knowing if you should like go out of your way to go get it or make, buy a replacement. Like, but it is, again, it's tough when it's like a free. That's why I'm usually like, all right, I'll take it. And if I don't like it, I'll either donate it or I will toss it.
That's kind of, I think the long answer, I think, is like when someone's giving you free stuff, you just take it. And if you don't want it, you dump it. Yes. The idea that even if she were to ask for a photo, if it wasn't offered, like I might offer a picture of it in general. Like, for example, I give our sister-in-law, Brooks's old stuff for the boys.
Right.
And I try not to put stuff in there that's not like in really great condition, but sometimes I'm like, I personally thought these were super cute. So it's like worth it that it's a little frayed at the bottom. I'm going to throw it in the bag. And I'm sure she just like goes through it and throws out what she doesn't want, but she's not asking me to take photos, nor am I offering to take photos. But again, if my first initial bag of stuff was a bunch of junk, we probably wouldn't be doing this anymore. So this is the first offering. So maybe she's just kind of like, let me see what I'm getting myself into here.
Right. She could also just say like, we're good. That's like, I think it's kind of like, if you're that concerned about having to go and get it and then it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah. Then the answer should be no. Yeah. I do think the fact that if she didn't offer a picture, the fact that she's asking is slightly annoying. So my opinion is if she just said, do you have a picture of the stuff? That's slightly annoying. Like I'll give that a 2. But if she was like, can I get a picture of each of the items? That's really annoying.
And then I'll decide if I will take them.
Like I'll tell you, I would like 1A, 2B.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
And if it wasn't like sandwiched with thank you so much, so nice of you to offer.
Yes.
I think that would be another thing instead of like, well, do you want these things? I thought so-and-so might like them. And then it's like, let me see.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that I get it. I see why she's irritated. Do not do this. Like, I think it's a crazy ask for you to take itemized pictures. Like that's really annoying.
Right.
So don't do it. If she's, you could just be like, I actually don't have time to go through all of it. So if you don't want to take the chance, totally understand.
Right. Yeah, that's a totally acceptable answer as well.
Right.
But I get the feeling of you're doing someone a favor, you're trying to do something nice, and the person's like giving you more work to do.
Yeah. Definitely annoying.
All right. I agree. I think if she said each item, like 5.
Right.
If it's, if it's, thank you so much. That's so thoughtful. Do you have a picture of the stuff?
Right. Do you have any? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures of the stuff? Yeah.
Totally understand if you don't have time. Like,
yes, but I do. Right, I get it. I love giving our old stuff to other people. Again, on the waste conversation, like it feels really nice not to feel like this stuff is wasted. Like it's honestly one of my favorite things when I see our nephews like in Brooks's old clothes. Like I'm like, oh, it's so cute. Like they're like little bonded, and also this stuff didn't go to waste. And I just, I love it.
It's great to get stuff too, I think.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We don't get, when we lived in New York, we got so much stuff. We don't get any more stuff, unfortunately.
Probably not. I mean, now they're like older. The sizes are probably much more variable than.
Totally. We used to get some good, that was like Christmas Day. We used to get bags of like girly clothes, and the girls would love to just like go through and see all this stuff.
I'm excited about that because all my friends already have kids.
Yes.
So I'm just going to take all of their
You're probably not going to ever have to buy clothes ever again.
Yeah, that sounds.
See, that's what you get for waiting all this time. God sent you this gift of a delayed.
Everyone's hand-me-downs.
Yes.
As someone who grew up in everyone's hand-me-downs, I'm cool with it. Yeah, maybe an item or two of them their own. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. Get it. I used to get made fun of by my friends because I would have like all my pants would be like too short or too long, like or like I was wearing like my mom's like shoes, who was like 40. It didn't
right. like, wow,
Yeah.
Gucci loafers are like really killing it.
Right.
It's in third grade.
Yeah, seriously. All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
You want to
I
read
will
our
read this last one. Hi, Jordana and Dr. Naomi. I hope you are both well. I felt triggered recently and would greatly appreciate your insight on the situation so that I can just let it go. I'm spending Christmas Eve with my boyfriend's family, and his parents get everyone matching pajamas that we can wear together. We've been together for 4 years, but this is the first Christmas we'll be spending together, so the first time I've been part of their tradition. However, for past birthdays, his mom has gifted me clothing that's usually in a size too big, so I have to return it for a smaller size. It irks me a bit because of the inconvenience of returning, but I usually just shake it off. This time I asked my boyfriend what size his mom ordered for my Christmas PJs to hopefully prevent the same situation from happening. He texted his mom and she replied with the size. Sure enough, the size is bigger than what I actually wear. In the text, his mom said, I got her X size because so-and-so, my boyfriend's sister, was very confident that she is X size. I was honestly bothered and a little hurt hearing that his sister so confidently assessed my clothing size to be bigger than what I actually am, especially because she and I are actually the same clothing size. She's only a bit taller than me. Additionally, I know part of my hurt stems from having a past history of binge eating behaviors, which resulted in weight gain. But I lost this weight before meeting my boyfriend and now have a great relationship with food and weight. I'm now back down to a healthy and comfortable weight. Regardless, I believe that I would still be hurt by her comment even without my past history of body food issues, because it made me feel embarrassed that someone who is the same size as me thinks that I look larger than I am. My boyfriend texted his mom back with my actual size, so they will be exchanging the PJs in time for the holiday, thankfully. How triggered can I be? How can I not let this trigger me so much in the future? Can we just make it a norm to ask people their clothing size rather than trying to guess it? Thank you for all your help. A holly jolly hurt Betch.
I get why this is triggering. I also get the mother-in-law's side of it, where it's like you're kind of trying to a gift surprise someone. It's like hard to be asking them their size. It gives them like
A clue.
hint or a clue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I agree. Like most people would prefer to just be asked than surprised with a size that feels wildly off. I wonder if she would be as annoyed if the size was too small.
Yeah. I was
'Cause
thinking, yeah.
It's usually easier to err on the side of bigger because you can still be in it, especially with like Christmas pajamas.
PJs.
Yeah. Where you're like bigger, the comfier.
Totally. Yeah, I think she knows it, but I think this is her issue, especially because it's around like PJs, right? Like, I'm almost like, unless they're falling down, they can't even really be too big, like they're just
Right.
comfy. And I do think it is better to err on the side of larger. So I think she is just being sensitive because she's seeing it as their image of her. So I think her own body image stuff is coming up in the sense of like, I feel comfortable in this body now. You see your body differently. You see my body differently than I do. Maybe I think the insecurity is in like, maybe I think I'm smaller than I am.
Right. Maybe I'm delusional about my
Maybe I'm
size.
delusional about my size. And so I think that body image, like the tricks you're playing in your mind with yourself about whether or not you actually are the way that you feel you are. I think that's what's being triggered. I'm not dismissing it. I think the idea that she feels like she's the same size as the sister-in-law, and the sister-in-law was like, no, you're one size larger than me, actually.
I'm sure of it, right?
Yes.
Well, and she didn't say that to you. She said that to her mom,
Right.
who might have been also like saying it. I mean, you don't know that's exactly how she said it. She could have been like, the daughter was sure like that she was this size.
Right. Yeah. And I actually also think you don't know what the sister-in-law's body image issues are. She might just be trying to make herself feel better by trying to assign you a larger size because that makes her feel better about herself, but that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
This stuff is so hard, but I think And again, like you said, especially because it's pajamas, like what does it come in? Small, medium, large, extra large, double extra large. Like that's kind of maybe triple.
I think if someone is in like one standard deviation of your size, like if it's a one size too big consistently or one size too small, if it's like 4 sizes bigger than you normally wear every time, I could see where you're like, this just feels like very strange. Like, but if it's like if I had to guess what your size was, I don't know that I would. Also, like, do you wear loose fitting clothing? Do you wear tighter clothing? It's very hard to. I agree. It's like the easiest thing for her to just be like,
ask her.
But also, like, sometimes it's hard to do that without setting the link and getting the size guide. So you might
because some things you might be a large and some you might be an extra large.
Right.
Like,
and again, I would probably err if it was for myself. I usually err on the side of bigger.
Yeah, I get it. I remember Jeff. He's like good at fashion and he's good at picking things out. And I remember he once went and he doesn't even look at sizes. Like he'll just hold something up and kind of be like, does this look like he does it for the kids? Right. He'll do it for me. He'll hold it up and be like, does this look like it'll fit? So he bought me a pair of jeans once that he thought were really cool. And he brought them home and they were like 2 sizes bigger than what I usually wear. And I was like, at first irritated because I'm like, why would you think that this is my size?
Right.
And then I put them on and they were like really comfortable and like kind of perfect. And they ended up being like my go-to jeans that like I wear all the time because they're just like comfy. And I was kind of like, maybe I don't need to just wear this other size just because my ego likes this other size when like this is really comfy. And this was jeans. It wasn't even PJs, where it's like, just get over it. Like an extra, a little bit of a larger size of a pajama is never, I don't think there's anyone where you're like, if you would buy a medium and she bought you a large, that like it's going to ruin the pajama. I
agree. And if I were buying you pajamas, and I was debating between 2 sizes, I would go with the bigger one.
Larger one.
Because I would, wearing binding pajamas is not something that anyone is looking for. And I get it. She said she does it with like other clothes that she's buying her for Christmas or whatever it is. But again, I do think with women, it's tough. With men, I don't think there's as much of like a feeling of like a psychological feeling around it. But I do, whenever we're trying to buy an item of clothing for anyone that's not like a baby, I'm like, it's tough because you're kind of like, I feel like there's this size, but I don't want to offend them if they're a smaller size.
And it always feels worse to get something and just be like, oh, I can't get this up. Like that doesn't really feel
good. Are you flattered by that? Of like,
right. What's the alternative? She gets it a little too small and now you're like awkwardly coming to Christmas with like, tight, skin tight PJs on. Like, I don't think that would make you feel better.
So I would just tell the boyfriend, you could just tell your mom if she's planning on getting me any other clothes. Like that's pretty, I'm almost always a size X.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to invalidate her. I get it. There's like she's aware there's some body image stuff, but I wouldn't take it out too much on the mother-in-law. Like, I think it's, she's trying her best. She probably wants to err on the side of bigger. I would let it go.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would give it like a 3.5.
Yeah, I could agree just because she's had these issues. And I think it's more of like, it's triggering. It's a 3.5, whatever you want to call it. But this is like, I need to remind myself, like, I need to be the one, like, I know my body. I know what I'm comfortable in. I feel good about the way I look. So if she thinks I'm a size bigger, like, that doesn't, like, okay.
Fine. Right. Yeah.
Fine.
For whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We did it.
But thank you for writing in. And I think a lot, like this time of year, I'm sure you're not the only one that's going to be triggered by getting something that's the wrong size. So
agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing to navigate, I think, from both sides. Is
totally.
So
yeah. All right. We did it. That's our time.
Great work today.